Alright, YouTube, and we just concluded the first round of gameplay for Kings and Kaisers Operation 1.5. We're just calling it 1.5 because we're testing out the 1.5 rules. So pardon the lack of a inventive name for this YouTube board. But anyway, I'm going to do the recap for what happened the first round, and also kind of go over just like a few handful of corrections that had to happen because, it's a much newer version of a game than like, BBR or or various other games and stuff like that. So there's naturally a few user errors that arise when playing this, and that'll streamline out as the game progresses. The first rounds with players with a lot of players is always a little clunky in terms of like a few mistakes being made and stuff. But as it gets as we get into it, it should progress a little more smoothly. So anyway, let's just go on with it. And I'll address some of those errors as we get to it. But anyway, I'll just go over in turn order. But Austria-Hungary, attacked Serbia, did a fairly successful attack against Serbia. They got poison gas as their tech, so that's exciting for them. And it was a little bit of effective. I think two Serbian troops were paralyzed from that attack. And then Madman sent the bulk of his forces up here to Galicia. He also sent his the new edition for 1.5. He sent his Austrian cruiser down to this sea zone here, and then on the German player's turn, because Madman originally sent his cruiser there, and the Prussian gamer missed that he moved his cruiser over here towards the end of his video instead. So then Prussian gamer went down to this sea zone and he attacked French Indochina, and he also accidentally had one extra German transport. They should only start with 2 transports in the Pacific. So he had to change what he was doing because he was trying to coordinate with his teammate there. So retroactively, he, instead of attacking French Indochina, which was unsuccessful, he congregated his fleet down here off of Palau Islands in Sea Zone 49. So there's that. And and then he left because he couldn't bring another unit. He left one unit there in Carolina. And then Russia. I am playing the Russian Empire, and I kind of diverged my forces, congregated my forces. I got lucky on my field technology, and I got a machine gun and a trench works, which I placed both in Western Ukraine, and set up a stack in Lithuania and a stack in Western Ukraine. Left a few units in Poland to absorb some hits, which Germany then attacked, and eliminated my 7 infantry, and I think he lost 4. I think he lost 4 in exchange, 4 or 5. So it's a fair trade, I think, or fair enough, But otherwise, set up for a lot of positioning. I bought some fighters, got my Far East units making their way over here, and so on and so forth. Germany chose not to declare war in any way that would bring the British Empire or Italy into the game. Italy is still neutral, British Empire is still neutral, Japan's still neutral, and of course US is still neutral. The Ottoman Empire is also still neutral. So Germany basically just sent what he could over here. He accidentally forgot that minor cities cannot mobilize units. They are specifically just for the minor cities' victory points. So he had to change up where he mobilized some of his units, and I think he still has 2 infantry. He did a video updating his changes, but I think he still has 2 infantry that he mobilized in Alsace that he has to mobilize, I think, either in Bavaria or Brandenburg or Rhine province. I can't remember what he mobilized in those territories. And he also had a couple of misshuffles of artillery and stuff. So he had to change a few of his things, a few of his moves and whatnot, but anyway, he's got a steady stream of units going into Poland and setting up in East Prussia, and then also he did not attack France or Belgium, so he is just kind of stacking right now in Alsace, and he left a fair amount of units in Bavaria, so maybe they'll go that way, maybe they'll go this way eventually, who knows. He also had to change a couple of his moves because he can't. There's a few different restrictions when you're moving around powers with that are major powers that are neutral, whether or not they have C units in a zone, whether or not the C zone is also adjacent to an at-war power and stuff. So he couldn't bring his subs into, he brought a sub into here and here, and he couldn't do that. So he changed it and sent 2 subs up to C zone 1. So he's got subs there, he's got a sub there, and he's got a sub there. With the new national objective, that gives him $6. Or sorry, that gives him $6, and he built another one here, so that gives him $8, 8 IPCs. The new national objective, if you're not familiar, is that Germany gets 2 IPCs per C zone in the Atlantic. That's all the way down here. That contains at least 1 German submarine. So he gets $2 for having 2 here. He gets $2 for having 1 here. He gets 2 for one here, and he gets 2 for 1 here. The Baltic Sea does not count. Let's see what else. Moving on to Germany, from Germany, France. Oh yeah, then he also built a unit down here, and because he didn't declare war against Britain, he only took over French Equatorial Africa. France started congregating their Doomstack in Lorraine and building units there. He also, Rommel built a cruiser here in C-Zone 27, sent his dreadnought up to 18, things of that nature. He got a machine gun with his tech, and he got an elite as well. So he put his elite in Lorraine, and he put a machine gun down here. I'm trying to remember what Germany got with their tech. I think he did get a tech breakthrough, and I just forgot to pull it out and put it on the board. I think, if I'm recalling correctly, I think he got poison gas and he hasn't placed it or something. Or maybe it's an elite, I forget. I'll have to double check that, but everything else I got up to date. Britain, not being at war, congregated their C units here in 19. Built in South Africa, built in West India, sent stuff this way originally, which was to originally counter the original German move, so there might be a change as to what the moves are there. He brought his new cruiser, not new cruiser, but his new addition to 1.5. He brought his cruiser from 75 over to 62, merged his little Pacific fleet over there because of this move. Well, originally they were there, but still a very similar thing. Let's see. What else? Japan, not super exciting. Just built some stuff. He built a fighter, and he built a transport. That was it, basically. Still not at war, and I don't think Japan got their tech breakthrough. Ottoman Empire did again. Prussian Gamer is playing as the Ottoman Empire, and Ottoman Empire is neutral, so he just split up his forces, and he has a stack built in Armenia, and he has a stack in Jerusalem. And again, this was before we caught his mistake. He was building in minor cities, and you can't build in minor cities. So he can't build in Jerusalem, and he can't build in northern Anatolia. He can only build in either the sea zones or Marmara, Constantinople. Okay, so that's that. So that's shaping up to be some competition. Britain got, in terms of their tech, they got poison gas and an elite, both of which went down in Egypt. And the Ottomans got poison gas and elite as well. So we're already kicking off with a lot of elites and poison gas, so that's nice, that's fun. Moving on from there, Italy. I was busy with work yesterday, so I just messaged, since I'm neutral, it was neutral for Italy and US. It wasn't that big of a deal, so I just sent my instructions to Rommel, to my teammate, and he did my turn for me. Congregated up there. He got an elite. He rolled it separately after the fact for us, I think privately, and he got Italy an elite, which I had him throw down in Venice for me. And let's see, Italy built a sub and a fighter and a artillery. All right, and that covers Italy. America, the United States. A little bit of a miscommunication. I just told him to send my units to South US, and he sent them over to Southeast US, but no, I want them over there to affect the success of the Zimmerman telegram. So the units are in Southwest United States. Railing 6 units from there, and the transport that starts in 5 can just go over to 4, pick up the remaining unit. I think there was one remaining unit, and bringing them over as well, building those ground units in a transport here. And then I also had him bring the Pacific cruiser that starts over here, had him bring it down to 71. I can't go through the canal yet because the Panama Canal is not functional until I'm at war. And then another little super minor thing, he sent this transport over to 57 because I told him to send it towards Guam, and I couldn't remember the sea zone names, numbers right off the top of my head. So I just said towards Guam, and he brought it all the way to 57, but it has to actually stop. Oop, there it goes. I'll pick it up later. But it has to stop in sea zone 65 because transports only move 2, they don't move 3. So there you go. So there's a transport there, which I'll put back on the board in a second. And China is not in the war yet, is not starting their national protection war until the 3rd term. So that's exciting. So that'll be upcoming, but that concludes the first round of play for Operation 1.5. Very exciting things. It's always good to get another YouTube war going and play with other players, especially because Prussian Gamer and Rommel are also 3D printing Kings and Kaisers pieces. So if you are interested in 3D printed Kings and Kaisers pieces, feel free to reach out to them. That about does it. I'll also have the links to everybody's videos and such in my video description for this video, and hopefully Madman can get to his Austria-Hungary turn, and I can get right into my Russia turn later today, and then we'll see where it goes from there. But stay tuned for more Kings and Kaisers. Again, it wasn't a very chaotic first round. Here is the casualty bin. Not a ton, but a couple of German sea units were lost, and the minor powers of Romania and Serbia, of course, aligned in a few Russian units, German units. Not a whole lot, but more bloodshed is, of course, coming up next, so stay tuned. And, of course, I forgot to mention one thing. Rommel rolled tech for United States, and he got 1 breakthrough, and since the U.S. is neutral, he gets to share with an at-war power, or rather, I get to share it with an at-war power. And he got a machine gun with the achievement, and I could give it to either France or Russia, and considering what is going at Russia, I am giving the machine gun marker to Russia. So on Russia's turn, they'll be able to place that. So stay tuned for that little thing. And I think that about covers all. I think I covered all the tech breakthroughs. Yep. All right, cool. Stay tuned, like I said.